We're waiting on some people, and I did not set reminders, so hopefully there's people here. And I have the dolls as an example here. Let's see here. This is the one that we're going to be sewing. I kind of have it preset if she's not sewed. And this is the inspiration. I'm going to take her jacket off so that you can see. It's going to be different, but nonetheless, she is the inspiration. And I wanted to show you how this dress is made. For those that have not seen it or don't have it, I never took it off. I am not kidding. I never took the dress off, and I saw the picture online. I came across it. So this is how this one is made. Here's the metallic brocade, and she has over here raw sewing. She has a zipper. Our doll's not going to have a zipper, and I don't have that great of an eyesight, but it looks like there's some tulle in here on the inside. So it's going to be basically the same except for the little tips. It's going to be rounded. And for our dress, we have already cut it. Here's one side, and here is the other. And it has this bigger piece, but I got it because of the shine. So I'm going to take this side. So what I'm going to do here, since you can see it's already started to fray, I cut it a little bit larger than what I wanted off of my pattern, just to give it that help. And I have a spool of tulle that I'm going to use, and I'm going to prepare it, and I'm going to cut it right there, and I'm going to sew it. Instead of using the serger, I don't want the bulkiness to be part of this dress. And I have here a piece of napkin which is going to substitute. It's going to be my pattern for the skirt. So let's get started. So I'm going to start with the top, and then once I have the top and the darts done, will I know how much fabric I need? I mean, I could cut more, but the brocade is so beautiful. Oh, hold on, let me see. I remember that I took the I took the electrical socket to iron a little doll clothes, and I took the socket off of the machine, so I just set it. So what I'm going to do, since we want it in the front, we're going to sew it. Let's pretend this is the back. And today I'm going to try to remember to use the side that I need. So I'm going to try to move it because I have it on the bottom and the tulle was not letting me. So I'm sewing the tulle in here, although you might not be able to see. I'll try to get closer here. Okay. And I think that's close enough. So I'm sewing the tulle. Here's the tulle. And I do have to mention that I oiled my machine. Yeah, she's sounding much nicer. And I am going to, I already folded the material, and I'm going to sew on this part here. I don't know, I may have enough. Yes, I have enough over here. So what I'm going to do now, since this is the top, I'm going to sew it in place. And do it this way. I'm going to use it as like a skin. Let's see how this looks. And I'm going to cut especially for this here. Let's see how it turns out. Oh, very nice. So I'm going ahead and do that. And when I do the darts, I'm going to have the little bulkiness in here. And I should have done this on the other side, but I'm going to try to do it. Is keep the fold, and keeping the fold, I'm going to sew it. So I'm going to hold it with my pin. I'm going to put it this way. I'm very gentle. I actually should not be doing this. I should have other different type of of a clip maybe for these special materials. So I'm going to keep the fold there. And I'm going to clip it and see the difference, and I'm going to do the same on the other side because I didn't do it that way when I sewed it down. But it's already made, so I'm going to make a little bit of adjustment. So I'm going to use my finger. I don't want to use the scissors here. And I'm going to keep it in place by sewing it on here. I'm not too sure that I have enough for the bottom. Oh, I do, actually. Let me see. I'm going to be gentle. I said I was not going to do it, but I want to be able to have the perfect enough of the fabric open. I just tugged it. So let me see here. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that my voice was not up. Hopefully I'm not on mute. So for all case and purposes, if you're starting right now, we're doing Barbie sewing. I'm using a like a TNT Barbie body, and I have not measured it, but I'm going to definitely give it more than enough room. And what I did here is that we're using the back side of the brocade because it's very pretty. The other side is very pretty too. This part right here is not going to be too much of a large focus. It's part of the material, but I just, well, I'm going to I don't know, do I need to? I'm gonna sew it in here. So I just did the tulle, and what I'm gonna do right now is work on the darts. Once I have the top ready, I'm gonna cut the skirt part for the material. So I have over here my Barbie, and I have my pattern, and since we sewed it and took some fabric from the middle, I'm going to measure it, okay, and decide what our halfway point is, which is right here. And I'm gonna snap our little corner, our indication, okay, and we're gonna sew it from this part. So here's my handmade pattern, and I'm going right from the middle, what we said the middle was, and here is our dart, right here. This is where we should be at. So I'm folding it. Here is where we should be sewing at. So I'm going to trust. That's what I put it on the Barbie. And let's follow our trust again and pretend, because right now when I had her like that. So I'm keeping my fold on, and it's going to end up here, and the same for the other side. And I'm going to have more than enough. I'm going to have more than enough fabric. So I'm going to do it again, because this is how we're going to sew it. We're going to sew it from this part like this. So I'm going to fold it. Here's our middle. And this part, the straight part, is the top. The bottom part is the waist area. So here's our middle again. I'm going to do the fold. And we're going to take a lot for her waist. It looks like it's a lot, and it is. But you just saw that I have. That's what I do. I test it. I test it on Barbie. And I put it in her body. So right here is where we're going to be doing the connection. And we can keep the pattern, or I'm going to eventually put it on my Ko-fi shop. And our pattern lands over here, where we need to be using the pattern on the other side. This is where we're at, okay, right here. This is the middle. This is this part, and we want to end here. Just go across, and we're going to end here. And that is how much we're going to be taking. And since this is metallic brocade, we don't want to be putting any more stitches than we need to. And that's it. So I'm going to do the same for the other side, and I'm going to test it. So this is our fabric. We have that much, and let's go test it on Barbie again. Okay, this is where we're at. Right in here. And I'm going to finish off so that we don't have that little loose material. Okay, I'm going to start from here. I'm going to finish it off. Oops, there goes my Barbie. And I'm going to do the same for the other side. Okay, so I'm doing this as with the mind that I have beginners here and people that are experts. I'm sure they could be here, of course. So I'm taking it very slowly for our beginners. So here is our fold again. I'm going to fold it with the fabric. Okay. And this is where we're beginning because we can see right here. And I'm going to start it and doing the comparison on the other side. And I'm going to put my finger right there. So what I'm doing, I don't want to put pins on metallic brocade, but I need to keep my fingers on the fabric anyways. So why not keep it as an indication where I need to start and where I need to finish. I'm going to sew it once and I'm going to compare it. Okay, it looks a little bit crooked. It looks a lot crooked, not a little bit. So let's, since I have it here and I sewed it once, I'm going to pull it ever so gently. And since I have you on live, I'm going to try to do it safely and quickly. Alright, this is the one that is, this is the one that I just did. This is the one that is wrong. I'm going to try to undo it from the end, and then if it doesn't work, because I only sewed it once. There we go. So it came off. So we're going to do it again, and I'm going to be mindful to keep it straight. And the way you keep it straight is it be going along with the curve. So let's try it by looking at it. I'm going to hold it here and hold it open to see. There we go. We are going along with Barbie. We're taking our middle ground again and see where did we go wrong. So another way, and what I do always, have you seen me before, is measure the other side and look. This is where we're at. And we're going to try to mimic the other side. So we're right over here. This is where we started. And I'm going to put a pin since I already sewed it. And this is where we're ending. Alright, we're going to try this again. Alright, much better. And this is how much fabric we have in the back. So let's try. This is a type of dress that we need Barbie to keep on trying it on her. And this is the back here. So the back is gonna be right around here. Put a little snap or a loop, which I moved it. I moved a little set, but I can have it with a metal loop. This is the loop part and the hook. Okay, so now that we have the skirt part, I mean the top part, are we going to do the skirt? So I want to make sure that the darts are even, and it's just the way that this one is here. So I'm going to sew it a little bit straighter. It's at a curve, somewhat of a curve. And if you can see here, the curve is right here. So I'm going to take this out because it makes the whole look outside. I was able to see it. So I'm taking it apart right now. It's 3 stitches. Okay. And I'm just very, very careful. Again, can't stress that enough because I'm working with metallic brocade. Okay. I just need a little bit more on this side. It just does not look, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take and give a little bit more of a higher finish. And for somebody that doesn't want to be sewing, it just so happens that I am sewing a few to plenty of times on the brocade side. Okay, there we go. You'll see as a visual that it's even. So now we're going to go on to the skirt, and as I mentioned, I have this piece of napkin, and it's going to be my little sample for the skirt. You can do your patterns with any type of transparent paper, tissue paper, and what I'm looking at here is that I'm going to need enough room for Barbie. So here is the connection. I'm going to need this much of a foot or less, and the connection. So I'm going to keep it like that. So I'm going to cut it right here. And I'm going to cut it much shorter. I'm just doing a raw cutting here, and I'm going to cut it. So I'm going to use that much over here. And here is her knee. So I want to be a little bit below the knee, so I'm going to cut that much here because we're going to be doing the fold, and we're going to be taking that much of material, this much of the serger, because I will connect it with the serger, and then the sewing. So we're going to be right here. So I'm going to cut the hem part, and I'll take the measurement for you so that you know how much I'm taking for Barbie. And I'm giving myself enough for the hips because Barbies have bigger hips, bigger busts than other Barbies. So here we go. I'm looking for my measuring tape. So I just cut, let's say over here. I'm going to put it over here. I cut 6.5, 6.5 by 5. I cut 6.5 by 5, and it's absolutely perfect how it turns out. So that's going to be our skirt. And the fun part, saving it for you, is how I'm going to get the skirt. And I'm going to show you the material. I'm opening it up for the best area of you to see. And this is where I've been cutting it. Okay. This is the raw edge, and this is all that I have been cutting so far. So I want to continue just finishing up the one side. So I'm going to take it like so. I could use this as the raw edge and then just put it over. And I'm looking at the design of the material. So I could go this way, use the raw edge, and then just sew it. Do a hand hem it, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use my weight, and I am cutting very quickly, and I'm going to cut the edges here. And I see that it's not perfect there, so I'm going to give it a little bit more fabric. And we're going to get started with the skirt, and we will be done with our elegant dress for Barbie. I am seriously thinking, since I'm not going to use tulle for the hem, I'm going to get the serger in here, and we are going to be using this side, the white side, to connect with the other, and that's the other side. Yeah, that's the more orange side, and this is the wider look. Okay, so I'll be right back. I'll leave this here for a very quick visual while I'm doing this. How I have my sewing studio is on an L shape. I have my sewing, which is this way, and I have a folding table on going that way. So my serger is literally to my side in my back. So if you hear a lot of noises, um, it is a lot louder than my machine. So we're going to get our halfway point, and we're going to start on the darts for Barbie. And I'm going to cut my little corner, because we're going to be I'm going to be measuring this on Barbie one more time as to how much to take for the waist. So here is our dart, and we got enough for the back, for the connection. Here is our fold. Here is our fold. And I'm doing this so that I know how much room do I have for darts. It's already at a wiggle, so we're only going to be taking a very little. And we're going to do it on the front. So I use my finger as an indicator where to start, which is usually I'll measure here, which is usually about an inch. Here's our middle point, and yeah, it's an inch. So you can measure an inch from the middle where we start with the fold, and like I mentioned, I'm going to take very little, and I'm going to measure to make sure it is straight, because that's where we had the problem with the top. I leave a long enough. Here's one dot. I leave a long enough piece of thread, so for praying purposes. So here is our finger. I'm going to start right here. And again, I'm doing a visual to make sure it is straight. Turning it over. And I'm going to end right here. Okay, that didn't look like an inch here. So right here. Okay. And you can look at it right here. Here's the middle. And metallic brocade moves a lot. One of the things I did not mention. Not as much as chiffon or silk, but it does move. So here's my finger indicating where I end. I've got a little piece of thread there. And there we go. So now I'm going to have it around there. It's going to be a decent dress for Barbie right here. And now we're going to be doing the connection. The top has a lot of material, so I want to make sure that I get her. And what I could do too is fold it, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fold it and hand hem it right there. And this is our waist, so just enough for me to have a and it's going to be a very tight, and I have fabric here. It's going to be tight, but I have fabric enough to put um, a snap, probably is what I'm going to do, a very small snap. So she's going to have a very clean, tight look. So we're going to do the connection now, and I'm going to serger it up. This is our middle right here, and this is our middle here. So I'm going to hold it, even though I don't want to. I'm going to hold it with the pin, and oh, I almost dropped it. I'm going to hold it ever so close to the edge, and the darts are almost aligned to each other. And I'm going to give myself just a little bit more dart here on the back. So I'm going to use this as an indicator at the fold, and here's my finger. Here's an inch. So I'm going to give myself more waist room in the back. And we want to end it very closely, very short. Just about an inch, and when we sew it, it's going to be about half an inch. So it's about an inch that we sewed from top to bottom. And I'm going to do the same for the back. Fold it so that we have a true dart in the back, because if we don't fold it and we use this visual, our dart may end up over here. So we're going to fold it and do the 1-inch finger and start from there. And I'm going to see here that it's just about the visual of where we're at here. And I'm going to take more material in the back so that it could match as we're connecting it. So just giving it a little bit more help. So now here is our middle. You can barely see it, but you can see the little tip here against the silver part of the material. And here is the middle between the darts. And we're starting to see the shape of Barbie. Okay, just doing a visual, because yeah, I could say there's no turning back, and I would probably sew it again, but here is our back here. Going to tuck it in. And I'm just going to give her a little bit more room. So I am starting with plenty of room here because I'm going to use a serger. And this is where the ending is. So just a little bit more. And we're almost done, and we're going to dress up Barbie. I could use a fancier one, but I'm going to use the serger right now. And this is why we need a serger right here. Okay, I'm going to do like a mock-up comparison that they match, and I'm going to go do the serger and give it a much more cleaner look. And the reason why I have that Barbie right now is because she has short hair, and it helps me when I'm using a modeling doll. Let me see. I'm trying to see if I can use I'm going to use this doll right here. So I'm dressing her away from the camera to make for a very quick entrance in here. And I will hold it with the pin. I'm going to show you. This is how much room I have, and when I fold it over in the back. And I will make adjustments, as always, off camera. And I am holding it. I'm going to hold it in the back with another pin. And what I'm doing right now is I am folding the hem in the back, and hopefully that is going to allow me, by holding it in the back, to hold it in the front and give you a truer version when I hand hem it. And this is just for you to have a very nice visual of Barbie. And this is us sewing it live right now. So here we go. Here it is. Oh, she doesn't look happy. But here is our gold brocade dress. She does not look thrilled. She looks mad. But here is the dress that we just sewed live on air, on YouTube. So right here, it's a little bit loose because it's not. We're not holding it yet. We need to sew it. But this is the back, how we're gonna have it here, and I'm just holding it with the pin. But if it does connect, I could put a snap in here. And the back, how we have the serger finish. And this is me holding it with the pin, and I held the hem in there. But I'm going to work on today to do the pattern. And this is literally, my friends, this is literally how I do the patterns. We just did it out of a napkin. I gave you the measurements online, and I'm going to put it in there, and I'm going to put this on fold, and then I'm going to put the piece in one piece in a free download so that you can do your very own dress and use the plan to do the darts in there. I was planning to fold it, which I am, so but this is what it looks like right now. But when I hand sew it, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to fold it over like so and hand sew it in here into place, and basically this is where it's going to end up. So when I do my little video on YouTube with music, my little short, I'm going to have it hand hemmed on the top, on the bottom, and we're going to have the snaps on her. I'm thinking of making her a purse. So she's going to have a purse, and I don't know, I'm going to fix her hair a little bit and maybe give her a little hat. How about that? So I haven't decided on the hat yet. I have to see what's fancy in the 60s with women at a cocktail party, see if they're wearing their hats. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your subscriptions. Thank you for your sharing, which is helping me grow. As soon as I'm over 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be able to do the live, and then the live show is going to transfer over to public view right after the live. So I appreciate your help. We're starting the new year, and I want you to be safe. It's raining, storms in other places. It's raining here in Southern California, so it's overcast. And we'll see you tomorrow with another gold and metallic brocade for Barbie. Be safe. See you then. Bye.